Lu Chen was sitting inside his late grandfather's old hardware store on the edge of town, sighing heavily. The store was buried in debt, and greedy creditors were coming to seize it next month. Ever since his grandfather passed away, business had completely dried up, leaving thick layers of dust on every shelf. With the front shutters pulled down, Lu Chen spent day and night stressing over how to survive. Outside, rain poured violently, making the quiet shop feel even lonelier. Suddenly, a strange metallic grinding noise echoed from the basement. Surprised and nervous, Lu Chen gripped a flashlight tightly and slowly made his way down the stairs. At the far end of the basement, a thick iron door that had been locked for decades was opening all by itself. A chilling gust of wind carrying the smell of smoke blew into the room. Fighting his fear, Lu Chen stepped cautiously toward the mysterious doorway. When he looked through, his eyes widened in shock. This was not the back alley behind his store. It was an entirely different, ancient world. Across a dry, cracked desert land, starving people lay weak and dying on the ground. The air smelled of iron, smoke, and dust, looking like a scene straight out of a nightmare. Lu Chen pinched himself just to make sure he wasn't dreaming. Inside a nearby desert outpost, a young female general in full battle armor stood leaning on her sword. Her name was Zhao Qiangling, an honorable commander defending the border of the great Yuan dynasty. Her soldiers were so starved and exhausted that they couldn't even lift their blades. To make matters worse, enemy rebel forces had surrounded the town, leaving everyone trapped and facing starvation. Pain and despair filled Zhao Qiangling's eyes. Noticing the bright glow from the mysterious portal, Zhao Qiangling drew her sword and turned around sharply. "Who are you? A god or a demon?" she asked with a dry, trembling voice. Lu Chen quickly realized what was happening. "I'm no demon," he replied calmly. "I'm just a merchant who sells tools and food." Seeing the starving soldiers, Lu Chen dashed back into his store. He grabbed instant noodles, bread, and packs of bottled water, piling them onto a handcart and rolling them through the doorway. The soldiers couldn't believe their eyes and rushed to eat, weeping with gratitude. To them, clean bottled water and instant food tasted like divine gifts from heaven. Even General Zhao shed a tear of relief as she took a drink of pure water. Shortly after, the revitalized soldiers knelt before Lu Chen in deep respect. Zhao Qiangling took off her royal jade badge and several solid gold ingots from her belt. "Great merchant, please accept these treasures in exchange for saving our lives," she offered humbly. Lu Chen felt his heart race as he held the heavy gold. He knew these ancient relics were worth a fortune in the modern world.
"This gold is more than enough," Lu Chen said. "I promise to bring more food and supplies tomorrow." Zhao Qiangling was thrilled and explained that with enemies outside, they desperately needed strong weapons and medicine. Lu Chen promised to return with modern tools and medical supplies. With the gold securely in his hands, he stepped back into the basement of his modern shop. Back in the store, Lu Chen felt like he had just woken from a dream, but the cold gold in his hands was very real. His nearly bankrupt shop was now a golden bridge connecting two worlds. He quickly went online to find a reputable antique dealer to appraise and sell the relics. Once he had the cash, he planned to buy everything the young general needed. He knew his life had changed forever. The next morning, Lu Chen locked up the store and headed straight to the city's most famous auction house. An expert examined the gold ingots and jade plate with a magnifying glass, his hands trembling with excitement. "These are genuine lost royal treasures from the ancient Great Yuan dynasty, priceless masterworks," the appraiser gasped. Lu Chen signed a private deal on the spot and walked away with hundreds of millions of dollars wired straight into his bank account. Staring at the massive balance on his phone, Lu Chen felt an incredible rush. Just then, the rival businessman who'd been trying to steal his store showed up with a gang of thugs. "Hey kid, pay up today or we tear this place down," the man yelled arrogantly. Lu Chen simply smiled, called his top lawyers and the police, and threw down a check that cleared the debt completely. He even used his massive funds to buy out the rival's company shares, bankrupting the greedy businessman instantly. With his problem solved, Lu Chen wasted no time and drove out to major industrial factories. He bought thousands of rolls of high-strength alloy barbed wire, heavy steel plates, and pallets of cement. To protect the soldiers, he ordered hundreds of lightweight titanium alloy tactical vests, riot helmets, and tough steel swords. For food, he stockpiled tons of canned beef, energy bars, bread, and medical supplies. Everything was delivered secretly to his warehouse, ready to be moved to the ancient realm. That night, Lu Chen opened the portal and began transferring mountains of supplies. Zhao Qingling and her soldiers watched in pure awe. When they tried on the titanium armor, they were amazed by how light it was and how easily it deflected enemy spears. "These are heavenly armors made by the gods," the soldiers cheered excitedly. Lu Chen then handed out razor-sharp modern steel blades and canned food to every single fighter.
"Zhao Qingling, I brought modern weapons to upgrade your army," Lu Chen said, handing her a heavy-duty compound crossbow. She tested it out, and the bolt instantly shattered a thick wooden log hundreds of feet away. Her eyes shone with deep admiration. "With weapons like these, we don't have to fear any enemy," she said gratefully. Lu Chen smiled and suggested they reinforce the fortress walls immediately. The soldiers worked through the night, setting up sharp razor wire along the perimeter. When they turned on high-powered solar floodlights along the walls, the pitch-black desert lit up like broad daylight. Lu Chen also hooked up electric water pumps to pull fresh water straight out of the ground. Seeing water gush out of pipes automatically, the soldiers bowed to Lu Chen in awe. General Zhao watched the miracle, convinced in her heart that Lu Chen was truly a divine protector. Meanwhile, the rebel army surrounding the outpost panicked when they saw the fortress suddenly light up like the sun. Their commander decided to launch a surprise attack at dawn, but as the rebels charged in, they got tangled up in the razor wire barricades and were trapped. The defenders fired a storm of high-powered steel crossbow bolts from the walls, taking down hundreds of attackers in seconds. The rebels were terrified by how a starving squad had turned into an invincible steel army overnight. Watching the battle from the fortress wall, Lu Chen smiled with satisfaction. Zhao Qingling led her fully armored soldiers out the gates to wipe out the remaining enemy forces. Protected by bulletproof vests, her fighters charged fearlessly, routing the rebel army completely. The desperate outpost was saved, transforming into a victorious stronghold. The soldiers chanted together, hailing Lu Chen as their god of war. After the battle, Zhao Qingling brought captured enemy horses, armor, and chests of treasure to Lu Chen. "Everything we won belongs to you, great merchant," she said respectfully. Lu Chen accepted a few rare gems and handed over crates of modern antibiotics and bandages. "Use these to treat the wounded. We need to prepare for bigger battles ahead," he told her gently. Zhao Qingling felt a warm sense of comfort, seeing how much he genuinely cared. Lu Chen returned through the portal with the treasures. His modern business empire was growing fast, but Zhao Qingling had warned him that a brutal army of over 100,000 northern steppe cavalry was marching toward the fortress. Lu Chen knew simple gear wouldn't be enough. He needed modern night vision optics, tactical communication devices, and explosive shock tactics. He immediately began planning his next big move to shake both worlds. Back in the city, Lu Chen ordered hundreds of military-grade night vision goggles and long-range walkie-talkies. He also bought tons of pyrotechnic materials, powerful smoke canisters, flare guns, and loud commercial megaphones. His trucks hauled the gear straight to his warehouse under the cover of darkness. He was ready to give Zhao Qingling's forces a massive tactical advantage. Lu Chen carried the new technology through the portal. Zhao Qingling and her officers were stunned when they put on the night vision goggles and saw the pitch-black desert glowing clearly in green. Testing the walkie-talkies, they realized they could talk instantly across miles. "This is like having magical eyes and ears," the commanders cheered. Lu Chen patiently taught them modern squad tactics and radio communication. Meanwhile, the 100,000-strong Northern Army arrived, shaking the ground with thunderous horse hooves. Their ruthless warlord planned to wipe out the outpost by morning, camping in a desert valley 3 miles away. Thinking the defenders were weak, the enemy went to sleep without setting up tight guards.
They had no idea the Zhao Qingling's scouts were watching their every move through thermal and night vision lenses. "We attack tonight while they least expect it," Lu Chen strategized. Zhao Qingling mounted her riders with customized firebombs and flash charges. Wearing night vision gear and receiving silent radio orders, Zhao Qingling's strike team crept quietly toward the enemy camp. Watching through high-powered binoculars from the fortress, Lu Chen gave the signal. Zhao Qingling's team moved like silent phantoms through the dark. Reaching the camp perimeter, Zhao Qingling spoke into a radio. "Attack!" The soldiers launched a barrage of incendiary canisters into the center of the camp. Within seconds, the base erupted into roaring flames and explosions. Bright signal flares lit up the night sky, blinding and terrifying the enemy. The sleeping warlord's army woke up to total chaos and panic. Thick smoke blinded the enemy horses, causing them to stampede into their own troops. At that moment, Lu Chen's voice boomed through giant megaphones like rolling thunder from heaven. "Drop your weapons or surrender, or be destroyed by holy fire." Believing the gods were punishing them, thousands of enemy soldiers dropped their swords and fell to their knees. The warlord himself fell off his horse in terror. In just minutes, the massive army was crushed. Zhao Qingling charged into the enemy headquarters, capturing the warlord in a single swift move. Tens of thousands of enemy troops threw down their weapons and surrendered. It was a historic victory, one with virtually zero casualties. Looking up at Lu Chen, who had brought down the fury of thunder and light, the soldiers shouted in unison, "Long live our god of war!" At dawn, over 30,000 captured war horses and chests of rare jewels were brought back to the city. Zhao Qingling knelt before Lu Chen, presenting the warlord's gold seal. "You are the true guardian who saved our people from certain doom," she declared. Helping her up, Lu Chen smiled softly. "I don't love war. I just want your people to live in peace." Instead of executing the captured soldiers, Lu Chen put them to work rebuilding the city and digging canals. He made sure they received fresh bread and clean water for their hard work. The former enemy soldiers were moved to tears by his kindness, bowing in deep gratitude. The outpost was no longer a war zone, it had become a bustling hub of life and growth. With the war won, Lu Chen turned his focus to farming and industry. Carrying chests of rare gems back to his modern shop, Lu Chen saw his bank account climb into the billions, making him one of the most influential new titans in the business world. But he wasn't just interested in money, he wanted to end starvation for millions in the ancient realm. He contacted top agricultural labs to order climate-resistant seeds and heavy machinery to turn the desert green. That night, Lu Chen rolled mini excavators, solar-powered tractors, and tons of high-yield potato, corn, and wheat seeds through the gate. The ancient citizens gasped at the yellow machines roaring without horses. "Is that a divine beast?" Zhao Qingling asked wide-eyed. "No, it's just modern machinery to dig canals," Lu Chen chuckled. He drove the excavator himself, carving long irrigation channels across the desert valley. Within days, solar pumps were pulling fresh water through the new canals. Lu Chen taught the locals how to plant the hybrid seeds using drip lines and organic fertilizer. The hard, cracked soil became soft and rich. Old farmers cried tears of joy, kissing the moist earth. "After years of starvation, our dead land is alive again," they cheered, hugging each other in disbelief. Next, Lu Chen tackled the health crisis. He brought crates of antibiotics, disinfectants, and vitamins, setting up a clean field hospital. He gave fever medicine and clean water to sick children. "Boil all drinking water and wash your hands with soap," Lu Chen instructed. Thanks to modern medicine, deadly outbreaks were wiped out in days, saving thousands of lives. With illnesses gone, Lu Chen taught the locals how to make bricks and mix cement. Sturdy brick houses and paved roads replaced flimsy desert tents. Solar streetlights kept the city bright at night, turning the former wasteland into a shining desert oasis. Refugees from all over flocked to the city, knowing it was a safe haven. Lu Chen also built a large school, stocking it with thousands of basic math, science, and reading books. Without education, you will always be controlled by corrupt rulers, Lu Chen told the young people. General Zhao helped run the school, making sure children and soldiers learned to read every evening. The sound of children reading filled the city with new hope. 6 weeks later, the fields blossomed with lush green crops. When harvest came, they dug up giant potatoes and picked golden ears of corn, filling the granaries to the brim. No one was hungry anymore. Holding a ripe ear of corn, Zhao Qingling looked at the abundance, forever grateful for Lu Chen's boundless kindness. Word of the prosperous, heavily defended city soon reached the corrupt emperor and his corrupt court. Furious that a border town had rebelled and flourished, the emperor gathered an imperial army of 250,000 men to wipe out the city. But Zhao Qingling's scouts alerted her early, and she prepared for the final showdown alongside Lu Chen. It's time to bring down this corrupt tyrant and build a better future for the people, Lu Chen declared. When the Imperial army arrived, Lu Chen launched surveillance and tactical drones that dropped tear gas and smoke rounds. Modern armored trucks broke through the enemy formations effortlessly, while Zhao Qingling's titanium-clad soldiers swept in. The emperor's massive force collapsed into total disarray and surrendered. The corrupt emperor and his greedy ministers were captured and put on trial for their crimes. The grateful people cheered as General Zhao Qingling was crowned the new empress. A new era of fairness and prosperity had begun, marking the birth of the new Yuan dynasty. During her coronation, Empress Zhao offered the supreme imperial seal to Lu Chen. "Lord Lu Chen, you are the true ruler who gave us life," she proclaimed. But Lu Chen chose to remain an advisor rather than sit on the throne. He helped set up long-term trade agreements, abolished unfair taxes, and ensured every citizen had access to work, food, and education. Under Lu Chen's guidance, the ancient empire blossomed into a peaceful, technologically advanced society with schools, hospitals, and clean energy. At the same time, Lu Chen took rare ancient medicinal herbs like centuries-old wild ginseng back to the modern world. He founded a global biotech company that developed groundbreaking cures for terminal diseases, quickly becoming the world's top billionaire entrepreneur and philanthropist. Lu Chen also donated drought-resistant seeds and funds to impoverished regions around the globe, earning international humanitarian honors. His humble basement door had become a protected super gateway connecting two thriving worlds. In the quiet evenings, Lu Chen loved standing on the fortress wall, enjoying the cool breeze alongside Empress Zhao Qingling. Looking out at the green fields and hearing the laughter of happy children, they watched the sunset over the peaceful new world they had built together. The young man who had once been drowning in debt was now a legendary leader across two different eras, lighting the way towards a brighter future for all.